Hey there friends, thanks for joining me, and I'm gonna admit this video is a little bit of a silly one, so forgive me for it. I just kind of started thinking about it, and you know what? When you choose a frugal lifestyle, there are certain facts that you're going to have to face. So I just wanted to share those with you, just in case you haven't, taken on the frugal lifestyle. I want you to know what you're getting yourself into, and if you have taken the frugal lifestyle, you're going to relate to all of this. So number one, you will get looked down on. Sometimes people don't know what smart looks like, and they're going to look down on you. That's not your fault, that's theirs. I'm sorry. Number two, you will get made fun of. I have been called cheap butt, I have been called tightwad, I have been called miser, penny pincher, tight-fisted, no fun, you name it. All that. Is it all true? No. Gonna try and use my abilities and make sure that I'm being financially responsible. That's all. That's all I'm doing. Number three, too frugal. There is such thing as too frugal, and I would call this cheap. Cheap is not a good thing. Cheap is when you buy unhealthy food and it doesn't do anything nutritionally for yourself. It's when you get people mad at you because you're bargaining too much, like to the point where you're insulting the thing that you're trying to buy from them, or even them, because you're bargaining a little too hard. Trying to bargain a little bit and getting stuff for cheaper, totally no problem. I have no problem with bargaining with people, but definitely don't want to do it to the point where they get mad. I've done that. When you do something like you go out to eat and then you want to help make sure it's not that expensive, so then you forego a tip, that's not frugal, that's tacky. And, sometimes when you go to buy things that are lower quality, they don't last as long. Here's a quick example. We bought a toaster. It was a Black & Decker from Walmart. 20 bucks or something like that. Lasted 6 months. Broke. Then I got this Cuisinart toaster that was $30, so just a little bit more, and we've had it for a year and a half and it's still got no problems at all. If you were to buy the Black & Decker, use it 6 months, it breaks, buy the next, cheapest one, 20 bucks again, breaks again. At the end of 1 year, you've gone through 2 toasters and it's cost you $40, whereas if you just bought a slightly better one and it lasts a lot longer, it's actually cheaper in the long run. So sometimes going with something that is a higher quality item that's going to last longer is actually the smarter buy in the long run. So yes, there is such thing as too frugal. Don't be cheap. It's not a good thing. Number 4. Frugal really just means living financially responsible. Unfortunately, in the world we live in today, living costs are going up and wages are going down, which is really squeezing middle-class Americans a lot, and people all over the world, not even just Americans. So sometimes you have to live a frugal lifestyle in order for your finances to be sustainable. Sure, you can not be frugal and then be constantly borrowing more and more money and going deeper and deeper into debt, but that is not sustainable. So living financially responsible is really important, and for us, that means having to be frugal, and that's okay with me. I know there are a lot of people out there who want to have friends that are doing the same types of things they are, which is probably why I don't have a lot of friends. Misery loves company, and I refuse to go there. I'm sorry, but I'm not. So it is what it is. If being frugal is what it takes to be responsible, I'm okay with that. Actually, I prefer that. Okay, number 5. Let's get on to some more fun ones. There is going to be unforeseen advantages. This is great. You're going to have skills that you never even knew you could do. You're going to learn how to cook and do things like cleaning and fixing things, and you're going to surprise yourself at how creative you can be to find a solution to a problem that you've had. You're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to have more free time, because if you're frugal and you're deciding, I don't want to buy a car on credit, I'm going to save up and buy one with cash. Now you don't have to take a second job. Look how smart you are. You're going to have more free time. And your children are going to be more peaceful and calm because they're not going to be constantly itching to have something new and go somewhere and do something. They're going to be able to, supply their own entertainment. They're going to have, more fun on their own without having to be constantly entertained. They're not going to be picky, and they're going to be more appreciative of what you give them. And they're going to be appreciative of what other people give them. So not only are you going to be happier with your children, but other people are going to be happier with your kids as well. So there's lots of unforeseen advantages that you won't know about until you go there. Be frugal. Okay, number 6 is there's going to be less stress. There's more peace. You're going to have, better sleep. It's going to be so much more peaceful when you know that you don't have all these debts hanging over your head because you've chosen the frugal lifestyle and you're not going deeper into debt or even helping to dig yourself out of it. Or less stress, more peace, and you can even sleep better. It's great. And you're going to have better relationships. When you're not constantly fighting about money, you're going to be a lot happier with yourself and you're going to be a lot happier in your relationship as well. So, yes, I think frugal people do have better relationships. Number 8, you're going to have money when other people don't. My brother actually used to have this job where he worked with these coworkers and he actually had to hide his money in his wallet. Because if he was with them and he was buying a drink or whatever, and he opens his wallet and they saw that he had money, they were always like, "Oh, hey bud, can I borrow some money?" I seem to be that person in my family too. Whenever people overspend and they want, a little bit of gas money or whatever, they all know that because I'm frugal, I don't live paycheck to paycheck, I'm going to have money pretty much all the time. So, yeah, we're going to have money when other people don't have money. We're not going to be scraping by all the time, and you know what? It's great. Okay, number 9. You're going to be better prepared for emergencies. So, you go out to your car, it's 0 degrees outside, you go to start it and the battery is dead. It just happens sometimes. Something comes up in life, even if there's a layoff in the house or whatever. If you know how to do things frugally and you're cooking at home and you're doing things without having to be racking up credit card debts and all these other things, if there was a layoff and you have less, obligations every month, it's going to be easier to squeak by. So you're going to be a whole lot better prepared for emergencies than you would be if you, were spending more than you make. Definitely a good thing. And number 10, the future is brighter sooner. When you are embracing a frugal lifestyle, you're able to do other things like invest or pay down your mortgage, and while other people are still paying for them for years and years and years, or even some people I've heard of, they took out a 30-year mortgage, they paid on their house for 22 years and then had a job layoff and then lost their house after paying all that money for 22 years and they lose their house. That is just the saddest thing ever. I don't want to leave on a bad note though. The future will be brighter when you have a frugal lifestyle because you're going to be able to have all this more peace and be better prepared for all these emergencies and things like that. And instead of something taking, that long to pay off, because you're being frugal, it's going to take less time. So your future really is brighter. You're not going to have all these debts hanging over your head, and you're not going to have all of these, downsides to things, all these bad things in life, unfortunately. It's just going to be brighter, and it's brighter sooner. So, thank you for putting up with this silly video. The 10 facts that you're going to have to face if you embrace a frugal lifestyle. I'm Frugal Green Girl. We'll see you next time.